Alright, let's go to the main topic for this video. I got word this morning that apparently Linux market share has doubled well, since July. This is from the nextweb.com. I won't read all of this, but it says here something weird just happened. The sprightly insurgent of operating systems just saw its market share double. According to net market share, it is now nearly 5% in September. That's a significant bump within reach of Mac OS. So there are, let's see, this is figures taken from StatCounter, Clicky, and W3 Counter. Methodology is pretty straightforward. It looks at visitor records from literally tens of thousands of websites, page visits, in order to determine what operating system and browser people are using. Okay, let's see. While I'm generally confident in the data net market share offers, I know it can never be 100% accurate. Like any polling, it's looking at a sample. Okay. All right. So the main topic here, besides the doubling of market share, is Chromebooks. The underlying operating system that runs on all Chromebooks, called Chrome OS, is based on Linux. Interesting topic, or interesting discussion here. September is back to school time. Increasingly, Chromebooks are favored in education. They're cheap as chips. You can get a solid machine for as little as $200. This is not really news. This has been going on for years. Apparently, he's using, as he's writing this, an Acer Chromebook 14, which replaced the vastly more expensive Dell XPS 13, and apparently he couldn't be happier. Chromebooks are amazing value for the money. Yes, they are. Chrome OS is also easy to manage for techies. It's locked down tighter than Fort Knox. And by virtue of its design, it takes away many of the administrative headaches that comes with Windows. You know, one thing about Chromebooks, you generally don't have to worry about malware, at least none that I've heard of. Can we explain the increase of Linux users with a surge in Chrome OS use? He says maybe. I think you probably can, but then he says again, maybe not. He's looking at the stats. I won't read all of this, but yeah, it goes on to say here the year of the Linux desktop has been proclaimed for eons, it seems. Tiresome cliche. Is it an unprecedented spike in Chrome OS users? I don't know. I think that's certainly part of it, if not a big chunk of it. I guess time will tell. One user mentioned his school district owns 800 Chromebooks that are used daily. That's a lot in one school district. There's also the possibility that millions have suddenly converted to the ways of Richard Stallman. He says, I mean, he does look a bit like Jesus. Okay. Okay, so perhaps we are just talking about some screwy data from net market share. I think Chromebooks have a lot to do with it. I think personalities on YouTube like myself and others, you know, when I started the Total OS Today channel back in 2010, there wasn't really a lot of quality channels on YouTube talking about Linux, you know, Linux versus Windows, converting Windows users to Linux, which is better? Is it for you? Do you want to try Linux? You know, that has changed, I think, well, in 7 years, I guess you could say the quality of Linux videos on YouTube has doubled, if not more than doubled. And that's certainly part of it. But good news for Linux market share, if it is accurate. 5% is pretty good considering it says here Mac OS is 6.29%. I guess time will tell. So that's all I have for this one. I do want to thank my two patrons for hanging in there, for supporting the Total OS Today channel. You know, I should have started this years ago. I thought it was a scam, but apparently it is not. So thank you to those two who keep hanging in there. We'll reach our goals one day, just like Linux has, huh? Okay, well, that's all I have for this one. In case you're wondering here what I'm recording with, it is simple screen recorder. I'm going to go back to watching the news. That's all I have for this one, guys. I'll catch you later. Take care.